Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. Very wet roadways ponding in areas of Southwest Florida as you are commuting. Make sure to watch that following distance. There was a crash in Lehigh at Lee Boulevard and Bryan Avenue. This is heading west to Gunnery Road. No backups right now, but if you're heading out to Lehigh, Senior High especially, give yourself a couple extra minutes. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, tropical storm warning in effect with Ada just offshore. We will see those bands of wind and rain as we go throughout the day. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts between 25 to 45 miles per hour inland, 45 to 65 miles per hour possible along the coastline, as well as some localized flooding and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So please keep it here to Wink as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday. Even some lingering scattered showers on the southern side possible into your Thursday. But then eventually conditions will start to improve for your weekend with just a few showers on Saturday, mainly dry on Sunday, and then actually a front cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah.
Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Fort Myers Boat Show runs November 12th through the 15th. This year features an utterly amazing powered patented catamaran. The 11-foot Craig Cat has big boat features such as comfortable side-by-side seating, a fantastic stereo system, great lighting, bimini top, and many other accessories that'll fit your style of boating. Quality that'll knock your socks off. Plus, it's a lot of fun and easy to operate. Visit Craig Cat at the Fort Myers Boat Show, booth 103. Online at craigcat.com or call 1-833-CRAIG-CAT.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
News. At home with Robert, retired burglar and family man.
Carolers! That's the holiday spirit. Speaking of which, Simply Safe Home Security is having a huge holiday sale. Right now, you can get 30% off a new system and a free camera at simplysafe.com/holiday. That's 30% off the system U.S. News named the best of 2020. Simply Safe protects your whole home 24/7 with monitoring by professionals. The sale ends soon, so go to simplysafe.com/holiday for 30% off and a free camera today.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live for the time being right here on YouTube. Anytime you want to watch, whether on YouTube or Facebook, you can watch in both places right now. At Drew Steele Radio, that's where we are. And yes, Steele has 3 E's, just in case you were wondering. Again, want to remind you that we've got a very busy day, a lot lined up. Want to remind you about 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. We are doing it once again, 10,000 for the troops, Christmas cards from you to our men and women serving overseas, and we always appreciate that you would be a part of it. We want to make this year bigger than ever before, even under the circumstances, whether it's your church, school, organization, your community, just you personally. You can text the word troops right now to 239-479-5592, where you can get the address right there on your phone. And on a day like today, Veterans Day, where we thank you, veterans. We thank you for those that serve this country. And certainly, we don't forget about you. We do not forget about the men and women who are serving as we speak. And on this Veterans Day, coming up later on, we'll have our friend Rick Wabi from Collier Lee Honor Flight to remember some of our veterans that, quite frankly, have been in this studio, that have been here, that have had the opportunity to tell their story during times which we were getting ready for some of our honor flights. And on a day like today, where we remember, think about, honor our veterans, an important day. So we don't forget. And we'll have those coming up. Plus, love to hear from you as well this morning. All right, there's a lot to dig into. Some of the stories that we will be touching on this morning include the latest Biden presser, where there were some interesting questions being asked of the president-elect. I know it's so funny to even say president-elect because nothing's done. But the media, between media, big tech, the local and state, I mean, you can go across the board. Everything's pushing forward. The train is out of the station. Why are you stopping this train from rolling down the tracks? You can't. It's already going. And are you suggesting that somewhere in the next couple of weeks, we're just going to stop and turn all of this around, everything that we already know? I'm looking at an article right now. An article, it's the front page. The front page of the New York Times this morning, Wednesday, November 11th. Do you know what the front page of the New York Times says? Election officials nationwide find no fraud. Really? The last time I checked, we're still looking. The last time I checked, we have the Trump campaign set to file another election lawsuit in Michigan. It takes time. But for some reason, the New York Times believes we've got enough. We've already talked to election officials, and they're telling us that there's no fraud here, there's nothing to see. Does it matter who these election officials are? Does it matter what their political affiliation is? Does it matter whether or not they have taken the time to look and discover what the fraud is? It's so important to dig into this a little further, and we will in just a second, and talk about what election fraud looks like right now. What are we trying to accomplish? Are you suggesting, when people say, there's always election fraud, come on now, dead people voting, there's always dead people voting. No, there shouldn't be dead people voting, ever. Like, we should have purged the rolls, and we've been talking about it for years and decades. It should have been done. So why haven't you done it? Look, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican, do you? The integrity of the election matters. And the suggestion that there's a couple of 100 people that are on the dead people that are on the rolls. So what? Listen, I look at a story. I see this story this morning. I'm looking at a woman who voted for Trump in Texas. Comes to find out, she also voted via mail-in ballot in California. Oh, so what? That's one person. We've talked to people. There's no election fraud. There's nothing. Now, you have the one side that's going to suggest that it's common. You got some dead people voting. It happens. You got a woman who voted for Trump in Texas. California threw out all kinds of mail-in ballots to people who never requested it, like this person. And all of a sudden, somebody took that ballot and voted for them. Oh, isn't that interesting? Do we want to find out if that has happened multiple times, or are we just going to excuse it as the one anomaly? You know, you can't. It's like anecdotal. It's almost like saying, you know what? It's almost like saying when the unfortunate, well, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not. I'm going to stop myself right there. I was going to say something that I probably shouldn't say. But the point is that the mainstream, the media that hates this president, that does not exactly love the Constitution, clearly, because they don't care about following it, they're willing to go along with Democrats who feel the same way, that they don't want the process to play out. Out of what? Out of fear of something that might pop up that could overturn an election? No. That because of these anomalies, it's, look, a couple of dead people voted. It was an accident. This person, somebody voted via mail-in ballot in California for this woman in Texas. It's just an accident. It was a mistake. It was just a crossing. But there's no election fraud. There's none. No. We're only how many days out of the election? Al Gore got 37 days to look and discover and go to courts multiple times. But that was okay. Right now, we have to accept the election or else. That's another thing we're going to talk about this morning. We are told by Joe Biden, by Democrats, probably some of your friends on social media, if you're still there, are trying to convince you that it's time for healing. It's time for us to stop the nonsense, and we need to just get along. It's a new day. It's a new era. Donald Trump is no longer going to be the president of the United States. Just get over it and let's have some healing, okay? Let's stop. It's been too much hate. Then why are you making lists of individuals that you would like to maybe see, have their day exposed to the public as supporting the president of the United States? Why is CNN showing a list of Republicans by name that have not congratulated Joe Biden yet? Why is The View and Sonny Hostin talking about how people need to be held accountable? And it's not like a McCarthy list, but it kind of is. The idea that Joe Biden, Democrats, the left in this country, and the media are going to leave you alone is ridiculous. They're not. They're going to make you an example. They're going to make sure that whatever it is and the sins that you have committed in the past will be out there in full display, and you will be held accountable. Now, we're not going to do anything, but this is the guy's name. He's a person who hasn't got on board with the program. And if you really want to get dark, and I hate to do it at 6:15 in the morning, but if you really want to go there and you really want to get dark today, let's get dark. I apologize. I just want you to know what's coming. I saw this story yesterday, and I have to find it. And when I heard about this, I thought that this is the one thing that you need to be aware of that is coming, that is one of the biggest stories that is under the radar right now, that will be the most important story in your life very soon. And it's this. Law.com, talking about the New York Law Journal, November 7th, 2020. The state bar in New York has passed a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination recommendation. The State Bar Association has passed a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination recommendation. The state government should only consider making vaccinations mandatory if voluntary COVID vaccines fall short of producing needed levels of population immunity. Does that bother you at all? Are you confused? Well, let me kind of shed some light on this. To me, this is one of the most shocking stories of the day. And I hate to be dark, but here we go. Why do you think that the New York State Bar Association passed a resolution urging the state to consider making it mandatory for New Yorkers to undergo COVID-19 vaccination when it becomes available, even if people object to it for, quote, religious, philosophical, or personal reasons? Why? Why are they doing this? Because that's what's coming, everybody. This is something that you heard on this program that I'm bringing up right now that I'm sure a lot of people will be talking about in the future, but I'm not sure if they're going to jump on board with this right now, but I will. The state of New York and the state bar is already setting up this idea via lawsuits that you will be vaccinated and you do not have recourse, including religious, philosophical, or personal reasons. I'm not going to get a vaccine. I just choose not to. I don't get a flu vaccine. It's my right. I don't have to get a vaccine. No. Not according to the New York State Bar Association. Are we setting up a situation right now, everybody? Are we setting up a situation where in this country, lawyers are already setting up precedent in states like New York where you will be vaccinated and you don't have any recourse. You have no choice. That the recommendations are there, that it's being put forward, and whether you like it or not, that we're going to have a situation where they're going to set up and build a legal case defending any policy that a state would put forward. The state of New York says you have to get vaccinated. Otherwise, listen, you're not going to be able to get a driver's license. You're not going to be able to enter this building. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things. Maybe even get into that grocery store, the food. Your kid's hungry. Now, I'm not suggesting that it would be that drastic, food, but it's not a little thing here, everybody. This is not a small thing that the State Bar Association is passing this resolution because they're setting it up already so that there will be legal precedent for you to have to do this if a state mandates it. And the ramifications are chilling. So I'm just putting that out there. I hate to go dark on a Wednesday this way, but these are the kind of things that we're going to miss that are going to fly under the radar as we are focused on trying to figure out who the president of the United States is going to be on January 20th. And there's a lot of things that are happening with that. And having said that, in just a few more minutes, maybe we need to dig into the minutia a little bit of what election fraud looks like and doesn't look like. If the New York Times tells you that, well, they see that there's no election fraud. I mean, election officials nationwide are finding no fraud. You don't get to tell us that. The courts will decide that. The precedent, again, here is being set by the media, by the legacy media, by the New York Times, by your local and state media that, look, Joe Biden's the president-elect, everybody. Get over it. We've already talked to world leaders. We've already set up transition teams. We're already on the way to move forward, and you need to move with us. And places like the New York Times are betting that there are judges across the country and maybe even some justices who have glanced at this, checked this out, and realized that this is the case as well. And the train's out of the station. And do you want to be the one that overturns an election? Do you want your name on there? Do you want your name plastered all over CNN? Do you want every Hollywood celebrity to be angry with you? It's chilling. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Please text the word troops to 239-479-5592. And get ready for 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877 Fort Myers, 33902, especially on this Veterans Day, remembering those that have served, but certainly never forgetting those that also are serving as we speak, the men and women all across the globe right now, keeping our liberties and freedoms intact. All right, we'll talk about that more coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The owner of HBO, Warner Media, begins what it calls painful layoffs brought on by the pandemic. Sources estimate more than 1,000 people will lose their jobs. TikTok takes its fight with the Trump administration back to court. The Chinese app company ByteDance says it's asking a U.S. appeals court for an immediate review of the order for it to sell its TikTok operations in the U.S. by tomorrow. Federal investigators say a Chicago area man swindled millions of dollars from two hospitals in need of N95 masks. The U.S. arrested Dennis Haggerty from @Diagnostics, accusing him of taking the money but never delivering. Investigators say he did, however, buy 2 Maserati cars. And the Dow gained 263 points. The Nasdaq fell 160. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Time's running out to win over $2 million from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter at PCH.com, and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. The $2,500,000 mega prize is guaranteed to be awarded this December. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want to win big. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 11/29. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Steve. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Jake Emanuel here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake the Millennial for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Hey Mom, I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Trust.
Breaking news as we begin
You can always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. trust, Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
That's kind of like a Thanksgiving diner special or something, right?
We're honoring Veterans Day the Rachel way.
Get in there!
This is how you get big muscles like this.
As veteran Robert Irvine counts down to Thanksgiving with turkey 2 ways.
And just for you, Rachel.
Plus, meet a hero and his best friend, saving lives on the front lines.
I don't even know where to begin with my gratitude for all that you've done for our country.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VaxD spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, I'm looking at the time. 239-479-5592. Text the word troops to that number. 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. We'll talk more about that and get to your calls coming up. Thomas and Brian, David, we've got an open line right now if you want to talk. Coming up, we're going to play some of the audio from one of Biden's pressers yesterday. Talking some serious nonsense. What kind of nonsense? Well, we'll have that coming up. A little hypocrisy? Well, we'll have that coming up. I don't know why I'm talking about that like that. Weird. Little gaslighting from the mainstream media? We'll have that coming up. All that and more.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Today, people will wake up, and before the day is over, their life will be changed forever. Car crashes can't be predicted. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The law firm you choose to prepare you for life after today may well be the most important decision you ever make. All law firms are not the same. The insurance company knows who will take your case to trial and who won't. Visit forthepeople.com to learn more about us. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Tee off for a great day of golf at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Enjoy excellent playing conditions and a weekend special to play 18 holes for just $38 on Saturdays and Sundays after 11 a.m. Coral Oaks gift cards also make terrific holiday gifts for your favorite golfers. You can book tee times up to 7 days in advance and register for their upcoming charity golf fundraisers at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
It's our November clearance event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. No reasonable offer refused on any new Kia in stock. Select models with no interest financing for 75 months. All new 2021 Kia Telluride LX lease, just $319 per month. That's right, the hottest SUV in America for just $319 per month. All new 2021 Kia K5 GT line sports sedan lease, $149 per month. Yes, $149 per month. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. At Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, if you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved. Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
36 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $34.99 due at signing plus tax, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval, $13.33 per month per $1,000 borrowed for 75 months at 0 APR with 0 down. Offers don't combine, expires month end.
When you're looking for a career change, what's important to you? Health insurance, dental, vision, wages, working conditions, paid time off, or an opportunity for growth? My Shower Door offers all of these, plus more. For the past 5 years, My Shower Door has continued to grow throughout Florida, and this growth requires top candidates. If you or someone you know is interested in making a career change, apply at myshowerdoor.com/careers and take that first step towards your new career path.
The corona pandemic and crushing stock market have many Americans worried. Is a recession on the way? Don't let fear take over your emotion. Join me, Alfie Townsend, for Saving the Investor radio show this Saturday at 9 a.m., Planning for Retirement in a Turbulent World.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. DNA evidence led to the arrest of Isaiah Pettyford. He's accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old 3 years ago. Investigators were able to pin the crime on Pettyford by matching his DNA to DNA collected from the victim. According to documents, the victim told investigators 2 men forced themselves on her after drinking at a party. We could soon learn new details about a homicide case. Deputies said someone called 911 from a home in Englewood Monday, and later they found someone dead. We know they made an arrest related to that case, but that person is not charged with homicide. She's in custody on an out-of-county warrant. Investigators would not give us any more details on the victim or how that woman's connected. As COVID cases rise, many of you want to get tested. Recently, we've seen long lines at CenturyLink Sports Complex. Some people are waiting as long as 90 minutes, and on a normal day with an appointment, it's around 30 minutes. The state says this influx of people is because the site was closed down for Tropical Storm Ada on Monday. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Getting off of 75, heading east to Treeline. A very busy morning on the Daniels extension as well. Really make sure to watch that following distance with these wet conditions. Pretty easy to hydroplane, so make sure you give yourself lots of extra time as well. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, tropical storm warning in effect with Ada just offshore. We will see those bands of wind and rain as we go throughout the day. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts between 25 to 45 miles per hour inland, 45 to 65 miles per hour possible along the coastline, as well as some localized flooding and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So please keep it here to Wink as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday. Even some lingering scattered showers on the southern side possible into your Thursday. But then eventually conditions will start to improve for your weekend with just a few showers on Saturday, mainly dry on Sunday, and then actually a front cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. You hear AC technicians with all kinds of fancy titles in advertising like Comfort Specialist, Energy Maintenance Technician, Comfort Advisors, blah, blah, blah. So what's that all mean? It's simply a catchphrase for salesman who isn't an air conditioning mechanic. Real mechanics have real NATE certifications. And if your company doesn't employ NATE certified mechanics, you're getting a sales tech at your house for service. A NATE certified mechanic has been to real air conditioning school and is tested for competency. So you know that your mechanic actually knows how to fix your air conditioner and not just sell you stuff. It's easy to spot the difference. Just ask for their NATE ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network can help. Tim has helped countless individuals and families here in the Fort Myers area save 30 to 60% on health insurance with superior coverage. Tim recently saved a family of 4 $800 a month on their health insurance with a lower deductible. If you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or paying extreme rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, Tim will help you understand your options. If you meet the flexible guidelines for coverage, Health Plan Network will provide you with the best coverage at the lowest lowest rates. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to healthplannetwork.net and see for yourself. Or better yet, call Tim, an expert with 23 years of experience at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net, a premium personalized plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
Psst, I'm about to say a dirty word, a really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instill the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy and an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
At Pfizer, our new COVID vaccine is 90% effective and could be administered to tens of millions of Americans by the end of the year.
That's amazing news.
Soon kids could be back at school and you could eat at restaurants again.
Oh, I can't wait.
You'll be back in the office, stuck in that same old cubicle.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Heating up food in that microwave oven no one ever cleans.
Wait, that wasn't that great.
Having awkward conversations with Rick and Karen.
Ugh, not Karen.
No more binge watching 90 hours of Netflix.
No Netflix? I mean, are we sure this vaccine even works?
Maybe even holidays with the entire family.
That's it. Honey, I'll be in a dumpster trying to catch something super contagious.
Coming soon, the COVID vaccine.
All right,
back to the old normal.
All right, that's is that? I guess it's kind of true. You know, listen, who's ready to get back to normal? I'm ready to get back to normal. I'm not even worried about that. How many of you are planning on taking that vaccine? 239-479-5592. Because you know, if it had to do with something that was going on during the Trump administration, oh, we don't want to do that, do we? I mean, because certainly, you know, Orange ran bad, and he's all about 239-479-5592. You want to hear something else? Even the story that I brought up just a couple of minutes ago about how in New York, they're already setting up the State Bar Association for lawsuits for those that will not take the vaccine in New York. No, I'm not kidding. And you can't have a reason. Religious? No, no, no. Philosophical? What are you, crazy? No, that's happening. How about this one? This is a beauty. Where is it? Oh, man, I lost the story. Are you kidding me? Where is this story? There's a story out this morning about... Oh, there it is. How about this? Zeke Emanuel. You may remember Dr. Zeke Emanuel. You might even recognize his face. He's one of several members of the coronavirus task force that's been assembled by Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden, not president-elect. I didn't say that. You might remember him. He was one of the key architects of the Affordable Care Act under the Obama administration. Well, here's something that he's suggesting. His plan is that we give this vaccine developed right here in the good old U.S. of A., yet we should give it to other nations before we give it to Americans. Oh, no, I'm not kidding. Co-authored a paper in September which he encouraged officials to follow the, quote, fair priority model, which calls for a, quote, fair international distribution of vaccines rather than what he and his co-authors characterize as vaccine nationalism. Now, look, you need to stop. If you are telling us that when it comes to the vaccine, there's no politics. I mean, this is about life. These are lives that are at stake. There's no politicization of vaccines or viruses. How dare you even suggest that? Until you have proof of it, then yeah. The model allows the country that produces the vaccine to hold on to enough of a supply to keep the transmission rate below 1%. It says that beyond that, the vaccine's got to be distributed internationally. That means giving away or selling doses of the vaccine before it's available to every citizen in that country. Got to be fair. No nationalism here. Yeah, we can't have that. You know, Trump was all about nationalism, and he's a bad guy. Got to talk to the experts.
I'm not the expert.
Wait, I didn't even bring you up. There's a little bit of AOC, who's not an expert. And she is exactly right about that, just about at everything. Is that rude to say? I'm just trying to figure out where is her expertise. So there's a little bit of vaccine news this morning. Okay. Want to go to some phones? 239-479-5592. All right, Brian's in Fort Myers. Well, hello there, Brian. It's good to speak to you, Brian.
Hey, good morning. There should be no shock that Democrats are very uncomfortable with the population growth. I mean, this is obvious stuff that Republicans should have no issue pointing out. I mean, the fact that crazies out there will want to go protect a tree before human life is just true. And there's no reason why Republicans, conservatives, should shy away from pointing this stuff out. People should know this, and people should be told this. The whole idea with the mask, in my opinion, is to create hysteria with the mask to get people subdued to the fact that a forced vaccination is probably coming. It's been proven that flu shots and things like that are actually harmful for people and can cause them to have issues down the road that would cause them to need pharmaceuticals. So isn't it kind of convenient that Pfizer comes out to try to throw some help maybe towards Biden's way for him to ride the coattails of possibly Pfizer being the person, the people?
Well,
a couple solution now.
Yeah, well, a couple of things, Brian, and thanks for the call. Number one, I'm not sure about the whole idea that down the line in vaccines for flu vaccines and what that does to individuals. We want to see some of the proof. I don't want to throw any conspiracy theories out there, Brian, or any kind of tinfoil hat stuff. This is what I will say. Number one, you have Pfizer, who politically doesn't want you to know that they are going to and have been part of Operation Warp Speed. No, we haven't. We haven't taken any money. Well, you're going to get a ton of money, billions of dollars from the United States government that is going to pay for these vaccines in advance. And you knew that in advance. And so that's why you got to be a part of Operation Warp Speed and get into this. So if you want to get into the minutia of whether or not you're politically involved or not, just save it. I mean, because what you care about is saving lives, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. It's not about politics. Put that aside. The second part of it is that the suggestion that there are not people out there who are trying to politicize all of this, including vaccines, is ridiculous. Yes, they are, and it's disgusting if you really do care about saving lives. And I wonder where Dr. Zeke Emanuel thinks and cares about that. And there are people that are genuinely concerned. And that story that I brought up about the state bar in New York passing mandatory COVID vaccination recommendations, whether or not you want to take it due to religious reasons or not, whether philosophical or not, no, you're going to have to. Setting up the state to mandate it, and then the fact that the bar sides with the state, go ahead and try to sue. You're going to lose. Is that where we're going? That is a concern. No doubt. 239-479-5592. And the whole thing about wearing masks, and we continue to talk about this and the evidence to prove that mask mandates work. They don't. We've already been through this a million times. If you want to wear a mask, that is certainly something that should be your prerogative, and go ahead. And I get it. I understand. There are businesses that want to do it because they feel better about it. Then by all means, go ahead. When governments start to come in and start to mandate things, then all bets are off. Then we get into some slippery territory. Speaking of slippery territory, here's something that's interesting. Joe Biden had a presser yesterday, and among some of the softballs that were asked of the president-elect, sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. You know, it's really up to the media. They're the ones that decide. They always decide, and we've always let them. That's been a big problem. So some of the questions that were posted or posed to to the former vice president of the United States. What would you say to Trump if he happens to be watching right now? That's a tough one. Why don't you take legal action against Trump? That's a tough one. How bad is it for America that Trump won't concede? Yeah, it's amazing how they slant these questions. You don't hear people screaming. You don't hear people pointing fingers at Joe Biden. No. They're it's like, here's the ball, softly tossed. Here's another beauty.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. During the campaign...
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President-elect. Right there. I'm out. Good night, everybody. No, let him go on. Go ahead.
You said you were not naive about how difficult it would be to unite the country. It's now 3 days after you were projected as the president-elect.
Okay, how difficult it would be to unite the country. He did some of the instigating. He was the one that talked about how 200,000 deaths in the country are all on Donald Trump's hands. It's his fault that some of the most vile, outrageous things came from the Democrat Party and Joe Biden, but that's okay. Oh, we forgive and forget.
President himself says he has won this election. His own administration has not moved forward to give you access to what you need to do to begin the work of your transition.
Because it's not over yet, because the media doesn't decide. You don't get to decide.
Just a few minutes ago, the Secretary of State, when asked if he would cooperate with a smooth transition, he said there will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
Yeah, he was tongue-in-cheek when he said that. He also was talking about how we have to have the process play out, and he believes that it will play out in the president's favor. It's not over yet, and how you want to take Secretary Pompeo's words and make them into something inflammatory. Okay.
I wonder if you have a message for the president who may well be watching right now, and how do you expect to be able to work with Republicans when so many have thus far refused to even acknowledge your victory?
Okay, yeah. How do you do this? How do you get along with Republicans who don't even want to go along with what the media is talking about? It's yours. You're the president-elect. You won. We said it. It's not over, but, we say it's over. So how do you do this? How do you possibly get along with Republicans who look at you and say, not so fast? What do you do?
Well, first of all, we are already beginning the transition. We're well underway.
Yeah, we're doing this without you. Sorry. We're moving forward. Doesn't make a difference what you say.
And the ability for the administration in any way by failure to recognize this as our win does not change the dynamic at all in what we're able to do.
Yeah, it does, because you haven't won yet. It does change the dynamic. The dynamic is there is no dynamic. The dynamic is slow your roll. Just wait. You've got time. We don't know who won yet. Nothing's been certified. Not one single state is certified. And you're making the assumption because the media tells you. If we go in the Wayback Machine, you got that, Jake? Do you have the button for the Wayback Machine? Oh, there it is. Okay. We go way back. What is it? We go way back to a couple of months ago. And during one of the many times that Joe Biden got out of the basement, there weren't a whole lot of them. But, there was a Joe Biden sighting. It's sort of like a Joe Biden sighting, or Joe Biden being at a debate, was sort of like a witnessing from a distance a Bigfoot. Yeah, the videos when you see Bigfoots walking and it's like, ooh, that frozen kind. Yeah. So there's Joe Biden on a debate stage. Chris Wallace asks him,
will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yeah, this is asking Joe Biden. You tell your people to stay calm and wait until it's certified? What does Joe Biden say?
Yes, and here's the deal.
Yeah, tell us the deal, because apparently you forgot. Well, I'm pretty confident you probably forgot that you're still in bed right now and what you had for breakfast, or what you're going to have. That's not really very nice. But anyway, yeah, what he said is yes, and here's the deal.
We count the ballots, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until Election Day.
Well, how about that? We should open up all the ballots. We should find out more, right, Joe?
And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way...
Yeah, tell me. And by the way, get ready for this kicker.
Our military,
yeah,
they've been voting by ballots since the end of the Civil War, in effect.
And that's what's going to happen. Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent? It's the same process.
Yeah. It's the same process. What about our military, everybody, on this Veterans Day? We should recognize them. Certainly we should. And those ballots that are coming in, we should make sure that they're all counted, right? And we should have poll workers, right? Republicans and Democrats who get to watch and witness for themselves how everything's being counted. There's Joe Biden, hypocrite. Democrat Party, hypocrites. Every single one of them. Oh, I meant if I was losing. No, if I'm winning, we shut the door, baby. Yeah, that's a whole other subject. So there you go. Some of the hypocrisy on display by Joe Biden. Let's not forget the prescient Donald Trump as president of the United States during the debates when he said,
in Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things.
Bad things happen. I've been telling people for years bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things.
Bad things happen in Philadelphia. You'd be surprised. Bad things happen in Philadelphia. They have a history, everybody, of, let's just say, dishonesty when it comes to elections. It's on the record. It's not my words saying it. It's recorded. There's evidence. So what about the evidence that we'll present soon enough about what is the tactic here? What is the tactic of the Trump campaign and filing election lawsuits, more filed in Michigan? There are big questions there. We're going to get to that. This idea that it's out of the president's reach, that there's no way that he could possibly even come up. What do you suggest? How you could even come up with the difference? Well, it's not as big as you think. And even with what's going on in Pennsylvania, what is the problem? The problem is very simple, everybody. Poll watchers were not allowed to watch 600,000 plus ballots being counted. Republicans weren't allowed to watch. We were just told that it was okay. And then when provisionals were put out there, when somebody got a mail-in ballot and then decided that they were not going to mail it in, but they wanted to show up instead to a polling place, certain individuals in places and cities in Pennsylvania were able to do that. Certain people in certain areas of the state of Pennsylvania were not. You can't do that. That is the Equal Protection Clause under the law and the Constitution. You can't have one set of rules for one group of individuals in one city and then not afford those same policies to and laws to another. You can't do that. That's a problem. And that's what's happening in Pennsylvania. All right. Coming up, we are going to, is that right? Uncover DC, Tracy Beans is going to join us at 7:05. I'm going to tell you something. She's awesome. And we're going to really dig into all of this. The lawsuits, what's next. That's all coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh.
Reveals that ICE used commercial airlines to fly illegal immigrants back to their homes. Shocking, isn't it? Utilizing all of their investigative powers as drive-by journalists. Newsweek was able to obtain data from ICE. Turns out that United, American, and Delta were used to transport illegal aliens back to Central America. United Airlines led the pack, 677 deportation flights, making up almost half of these flights last year. American Airlines took second place, 345 removal journeys. And coming in third place was Delta with 266 flights. Jess Morales Raqueto, a former Hillary campaign staffer, now heads Families Belong Together. It's an illegal immigration advocacy group. She says that these air carriers ought to be ashamed of themselves for profiting from Trump's cruelty against families. Now, of course, like most liberals, Ms. Raqueto has it 100% wrong. These companies ought to be proud. They are helping the elected U.S. government enforce the law. And they're making a profit at the same time. That's what capitalism's all about, doing well by doing good. It's a win-win. But really, Delta, you're the biggest commercial air carrier. You're only in third place with ICE flights. You guys got to step it up this year. We're keeping a sharp eye out on this. You can do better.
Cadenwood, the trusted leader in CBD and makers of Level Select CBD, introduced to consumers right here on the Rush Limbaugh Show, is proud to introduce Purity Preferred, a line of CBD products made just for pets. Formulated by experts specifically for your dog or cat's needs, Purity Preferred created products for calming and hip and joint mobility issues. If you're looking for relief for your beloved dog or cat, look no further than Purity Preferred Pet CBD. It's made with the highest quality broad-spectrum CBD with moringa and krill oils added to reduce inflammation. All Purity Preferred products are independently tested with 0% THC and made in the USA. Purity Preferred has a special introductory offer for Rush listeners. Go to PurityPreferred.com and use promo code PURITY50 for 50% off any purchase. That's PurityPreferred.com, promo code PURITY50 for 50% off. Purity Preferred Pet CBD from Cadenwood.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Sometimes you want to get things done fast. There's a lot of things in your life you would like to happen in a hurry. How about getting that water that's coming out of your faucet fixed? You know, have great tasting water instead of water that tastes bad like chlorine or chemicals. You thought about what it's doing to your skin or hair? Well, you hear me talk about Pelican Water, Pelican now Pentair Water Solutions. You can take care of your home's water today by calling Max. Make the call. Thousands of people already have done this. Make the call today. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet with your new Pentair water treatment system. And there's a big difference when it comes to Pentair water specialists, trained, Pentair certified, uniformed local experts like Max. He's awesome. They use state-of-the-art Pentair water tests so you can see what's in your water right there on the spot. The mobile showroom. You'll have a wider range of options to see in front of you, and they can maintain your system for you with their white glove service. Look, get it done now. Get it done fast. Call now for your free Pentair water test and save 15% on your whole home water system. Here's the number, 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799. Or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Hey, Mom, I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Our everyday low price is posted on every RV. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. From sporty Mercedes-powered motorhomes to luxury diesel pushers, every RV in stock is discounted. If you've been thinking about the RV lifestyle, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers or lamesarv.com.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired. Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A jogger attacked, and now there's a search for the person who did it. It all unfolded along 6th Street North in Naples Park last night. The victim says she was jogging in the park when a strange man pulled up and grabbed her. Collier County deputies say he held her captive in a gray van. She was able to fight him off and escape unharmed. Lee Health is seeing an uptick in COVID hospitalizations with more than 100 coronavirus patients in hospital rooms for the first time in months. Lee Health reported a 24.7% positivity rate from Monday's test, and 101 COVID-19 patients are isolated in their hospitals right now. About a month ago, Lee Health was reporting 40 to 50 COVID patients a day. A legal challenge to a mask mandate faces a long road ahead. Alfie Oakes, the owner of Oakes Farms, is suing Collier County, claiming the mandate is unconstitutional and violates privacy rights. Documents filed in federal court show the jury trial for Oakes versus Collier County is scheduled for February 2022, but Oakes hopes to get that mandate thrown out sooner. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Looking at my traffic cams, the Midpoint Bridge is just packed, combined with that rain and slick roadways. Guys, make sure you really do watch that following distance this morning. And slowdowns in Fort Myers on westbound Daniels Parkway heading to US 41. Delays as well on the Daniels extension. No surprise here near Gateway if you're heading out of Lehigh. And I-75 is up to speed if you're heading to and from Lee and Charlotte. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, tropical storm warning in effect with Ada just offshore. We will see those bands of wind and rain as we go throughout the day. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts between 25 to 45 miles per hour inland, 45 to 65 miles per hour possible along the coastline, as well as some localized flooding and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So please keep it here to Wink as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday. Even some lingering scattered showers on the southern side possible into your Thursday. But then eventually conditions will start to improve for your weekend with just a few showers on Saturday, mainly dry on Sunday, and actually a front cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these 3 things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all 3, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all 3 questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
License number CCC 1331928.
Are you ready for the very best? Hello, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples, and I invite you to experience the luxury, safety, and satisfaction of driving a new Genesis. Leading in luxury year after year, Genesis is the highest-ranked luxury brand in initial quality 4 years in a row by J.D. Power and received the industry's premier safety ratings. Right now, you can finance the new 2020 G70 with 0% APR or experience the power, intelligence, and efficiency the all-new 2021 G80 offers, a car that automatically adjusts to match your driving style. Looking for elegance? Take it to new heights in the all-new 2021 G90 for effortless performance and precise handling, and brand new to our our lineup, the new 2021 Genesis GV80, the new face of young luxury, and the first ever SUV for Genesis, in stock and arriving daily. Visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or online at genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models. For JD Power 2020 award info, visit jdpower.com.
When a client comes to our firm after an accident, we have the awesome responsibility of returning what was taken away from them. Loss of income and earning potential, past and future medical bills, pain and suffering, the loss of the enjoyment of life. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our clients don't seek charity, they seek justice. They're looking to have their life back and property restored. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about your legal rights. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
At home with Robert, retired burglar and family man.
Carolers! That's the holiday spirit. Speaking of which, Simply Safe Home Security is having a huge holiday sale. Right now, you can get 30% off a new system and a free camera at simplysafe.com/holiday. That's 30% off the system U.S. News named the best of 2020. Simply Safe protects your whole home 24/7 with monitoring by professionals. The sale ends soon, so go to simplysafe.com/holiday for 30% off and a free camera today.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Trust.
We have breaking news as we begin
always
tonight.
Trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
That's kind of like a Thanksgiving diner special or something, right?
We're honoring Veterans Day the Rachel way.
Get in there!
This is how you get big muscles like this.
As veteran Robert Irvine counts down to Thanksgiving with turkey 2 ways.
And just for you, Rach.
Plus, meet a hero and his best friend, saving lives on the front lines.
I don't even know where to begin with my gratitude for all that you've done for our country.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talking text line. Streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. At Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. The last time I had a chance to talk with Tracy Beans, I was with Mike Opelka. We were together at CPAC, and it's been way too long. Editor-in-chief of Uncover DC and uncoverdc.com. She has her great podcast, Dark to Light podcast, and she's joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. Tracy, it's great to speak with you again. How are you?
I'm doing well. A lot's changed in that short, 10 months?
I know. It feels like it was a lifetime ago. I mean, it really, it's unbelievable what is taking place. You know, as we're trying to dig in and trying to make sense of everything that has been happening. I think we obviously know everything that's been going on when it comes to some of the election fraud and the tactics, you know, even some of what was promised. Hey, dare I say, the president-elect, I can't even say it with a straight face, Joe Biden, looks like he's already broke one of his promises. Here, I'm going to play a little clip for you, and you'll see. Check this out here it's from the debates not too long ago, Tracy.
Will you urge your supporters to stay calm
while the vote is counted? And will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal.
Yeah, here's the deal. That was fast. He already broke that promise. All right. So what a way to come out of the gate.
Wow, that's that's something else. I look, what's going on in this country right now is terrifying, especially when it comes to what the legacy media is doing. And I say this all the time, but I mean it more than ever. Without radio, the American people would be so lost right now.
Yeah. Well, without you as well, I'll tell you what, podcast, radio, so many voices. And I'll say this, Tracy, and this is one of the things that I want to get into as well, kind of a little more detail. We'll get into the election fraud that's going on and some of the lawsuits. The president is filing some more election lawsuits in the state of Michigan. But it is telling how the media is pushing this narrative right now that we all need to sit back and shut up. Like this is a done deal. The train is out of the station. It's already happening. You have no recourse. And that's why this, to me, and you can maybe speak to this as well, is so important right now. What you and I and others are trying to do is because we can't let this happen. We can't allow this to just take place without challenge because there's so much to be challenged. And if we let this happen, then you know what the setup is. I'm not even going to talk about 2022. I'll talk about another month and a half from now in Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, just look what they did yesterday. Washington Post comes out with an absolutely fabricated story that postal whistleblower from Pennsylvania recanted,
right,
and turned around and took all that back about the Postal Service. And the guy is like, I did not. What is this all about? And then you hear, a little bit of a tape of the IG's office questioning him, and they're basically threatening the guy. I mean, if this is what we're dealing with, and how many of those interviews are not recorded?
Right.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, again, this is it. And everybody needs to get very loud and make themselves very known because there are 70+ million people that don't want to lose their country. And we need to make it as loud as possible right now.
Right. So what have you heard now with the latest, for example, Pennsylvania? What are you hearing? What is going on there? And, how do you feel personally and the people you talk to about what is happening there in the state?
Well, Pennsylvania is one of the messiest states ever. A lot of people ask me, like, what are the biggest two? And I say Michigan and Pennsylvania for sure right now. Pennsylvania has several issues going on, one of which was the Secretary of State Bookbar there actually sent out guidance to her election, her precincts, telling them to accept ballots with mismatched signatures or no signature and to not discard any ballot that doesn't have a signature that's mailed in. And do that while no poll workers are allowed to observe from the opposing political party. And it's documented. This is written. This is what's in front of the Supreme Court right now, and they did not segregate any of the ballots that had to be segregated that came in after the fact. It's a catastrophe in Pennsylvania, and that's not even it. There are like 20 other examples of fraud, all people that came forward with signed affidavits under, the penalty of perjury. And people are trying to say that's not evidence, to which I say if you had one eyewitness to a murder, somebody would be in jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So stop saying 60 or 70 or 80 people coming forward with evidence is not evidence.
Right.
It's one of the most powerful forms of evidence, actually, an eyewitness account. So It's gaslighting on the highest scale.
Yeah, I see that a lot of different issues that have been in lawsuits, not only that one, but even the question of whether or not provisional ballots, some that asked for mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania had remedy when they went to vote in person instead of using those mail-in ballots where certain areas they were able to and were told what the remedy would be to guide them through different issues with the ballot specifically, but not afforded to other places in the state. There's that issue of equal protection. That's the one. Those are the kinds of things where somebody is saying and gaslighting and saying, well, where's this big van, Tracy? Where's the van filled with ballots that have been? No, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. That's where the battle is going to be, and And that's what the media is trying to make us think, that there's some magical place where we're going to find this van filled with ballots that were stolen, or something that's going to be that easy and able to point out. But it's deeper than that.
Well, it is deeper than that. It goes to very hardcore constitutional questions.
Right.
And, outside of just the philosophical sort of equal protection, equal suffrage, things like that, there are reports of vans full of ballots. They're asking for proof that they're letting these things go through without checking them, but they wouldn't let people in to watch. And that's codified in law. It's against the law to bar people from rooms trying to observe this election. It's against the law. They broke the law, blatantly broke the law several times in several different ways. And a lot of it is documented as, in other words, she wrote these emails with this guidance in contravention of election law in the state. Right. And it's just brushed aside. As a matter of fact, there's a report coming out today that yesterday Erie County poll workers got together and decided they were going to count ballots with no dates on them. They're not allowed to vote among themselves and decide whether or not they're going to count those ballots. So this is not something that's allowed.
So they're letting everybody know we're doing something that is not lawful right in front of your face. But I think, Tracy, that goes back to something else that we've talked about before, and I've even talked with Mike Opelka on a lot of occasions as he's been on this program many times, is that is something that it feels so unusual now, something that we haven't seen before, where the covert has become the overt. Where before you might do something behind closed doors, now it's almost the left coming out and saying, "Come and take it, come and get us." Yeah, and they're so blatant, right?
Yeah, and it's worse. It's worse that way because they really do believe that they're going to get away with all of this and with impunity. And, listen, there was a guidance letter that came out from AG Barr the other day, and inside of it, he was very detailed. And he said, usually we wait till after the election to look into stuff like this after it's certified. But in this case, if you guys get a credible allegation that has the potential to swing a state, in other words, to flip a state's current totals as they stand, please investigate that immediately and do it quickly. And he said in there he's already directed some places to start doing that, which means that they know at the Department of Justice that there are some places with allegations credible enough that they could swing a state the opposite direction. And that's something that has gone kind of under the radar. Now, everybody's got their qualms with the Justice Department. I don't know who's in charge of these things. I do know that Pilger, who was in charge of this division, rather than, take part in investigating what seems to be very obvious election fraud, stepped down and said he couldn't in good conscience continue. And he was a Clinton acolyte and helped Lois Lerner to target conservatives. So that's a good thing, I guess. But there's a lot of moves going on, if you haven't noticed, behind the scenes with Kash Patel and, Ezra Cohen-Watnick taking over in the military branch of the government. It's very interesting what's happening.
Yeah, well, what do you make of all that? By the way, before you answer that, I just want to let everybody know it's Tracy Beans joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. She is fantastic. The website, uncoverdc.com, is great. She does some fantastic work there, has the Dark to Light podcast as well that you can check out at all the places where you get your favorite podcasts. And well, let me ask you about that, Tracy. So that is interesting, all of these changes. I don't know that, there's two schools of thought, right? It's either you make these changes because, as some people have been asking, can you just declassify? Can we get everything out there? Can we put it all? If something is going to go down and the president will no longer be in office for another 4 years, can we get some of this out declassified and let's see it? And maybe that it's going to take certain individuals in order to make that happen. On the other side, some people are saying, well, hold on. It sure doesn't sound like an administration who's given up at all.
No, they certainly haven't given up. There's absolutely nothing to indicate that that's true. I mean, I have some folks that are on the ground in Pennsylvania with the campaign working really hard, and the overall energy there is this is not going to stand, and we're going to fight this, and we're going to win. I mean, they don't even think they're not even thinking about conceding. And there's still a lawsuit in Arizona. There may be another one in Arizona, and then Sidney Powell is looking into all of this electronic fraud, which nobody is talking about, but happens all the time with these Dominion voting machines. So it almost feels like an insurmountable problem to solve, and that's by design. And you're right. You know, a lot of people are talking about this. This could have, regardless of what ends up happening, there's going to be half of the country who is absolutely beside themselves. So they got their tumultuous atmosphere, you know, regardless of who ends up the winner.
Right. Yeah. And I've talked to people so many times about the fact that a part of this, a big part of it, and you can speak to this as well, is that if you think that this is going to be overturned now that the president-elect Biden has talked to world leaders, that's a whole other subject. We talk about Logan Act. I mean, oh gosh, you want to go there with Mike Flynn? We can even go there for a second. That the transition teams are being put together and COVID teams being put together and all of this, and how, you know, it's fascinating how the streets of major cities across the country are pretty quiet right now. You don't hear a lot of Republicans and conservatives tearing things down, looting and destroying, but be careful, because we've just proven the point that all of that boarding up was not because Republicans, Trump supporters, were going to go out and do anything. It's all about the other side, which is, hey, look, not only will we make a list of all the people that have not congratulated Joe Biden, a la CNN, but you may be in turn looking at some rioting and looting in the streets, and you wouldn't want that, would you? I get that feeling that that's, again, what the left is trying to do. Just sit back and stop.
It's true. It's absolutely true. You know, I have a lot of confidence right now that this will work itself out. I really do. And if that happens, if you think for a second it's going to be peace and calm across this nation until January and beyond, you're crazy. Especially not when it looks, for all intents and purposes, like we might even flip the House of Representatives towards the conservative line. I mean, if that's the case and that ends up happening, and, you know, obviously with the North Carolina win yesterday, there's the Senate majority. This is what people aren't really paying attention to. Those down ballot races that weren't voted for, and just the Biden vote being bubbled in, 95,000 of them, you know, in certain states, and 450,000 across the entire country, ballots just for the president, you know, alone. Very, very strange. You don't see it on the Republican side, only on the Democrat side. They're focusing all their power in the office of the presidency, and they don't care about cheating the down ballot candidates so much. That's terrifying to me, because what are they intending to do with the office of the presidency without having the power of the Congress and the Senate?
Yeah, that because
they're just
right. How many people have talked to you about that, Tracy, and said, "Oh, give me a break. Don't you think that if there's going to be election fraud, they would have done it across the board? Don't you think that how is it that all of these seats are flipping and the Senate could possibly be in the Republicans' hands? Are you suggesting that it was just about Joe Biden? Isn't that proof enough?" Well, no. I mean, I might have some questions about that.
You know, look, I'm insinuating that they are focusing their power grab on the top of the ticket, which is not the way this republic works.
Right.
So the fact that they're doing that is a tell, in my opinion. Like, I just look at it as a little bit of an odd thing to do. Like, why do you care so much of the office of the presidency, who would basically be lame duck without a Congress and a Senate?
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, that is a great point. Hey, before we go, you know, I did bring it up, that the whole idea that the president-elect is speaking with world leaders. You want to comment on that one?
You know, without an official transition in place, that, you know, the Trump administration is not enacting transition-like actions. They're blocking these folks. They're acting like on their own without any authorization. And Biden was the one who brought up the Logan Act against General Flynn in the first place. As a matter of fact, yesterday, Andrew McCabe was testifying in front of the Senate, and Ted Cruz went after him on this very thing. And this is absolutely horrifying. Can you imagine Biden on the phone with world leaders, talking to them about what foreign policy is going to be and how they're going to be able to? It's so hypocritical. I said yesterday, real quick, you guys impeached the president on an anonymous whistleblower whose story didn't hold water for more than 2 days because the president released a transcript of the call that completely nullified everything in it. You impeached a president over it, and now you want, they're basically saying now 80, 100, 200, 300 witnesses are no good who are showing their face. These people are the ultimate hypocrites. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm not pulling my hair out of my head by this point.
Yeah, it's true. No, I get it. Tracy Beans, listen, I will say this to everybody who is listening. The kind of strong, powerful voice we need to continue to listen to and check out and watch and pay attention to the fighters that are out there. And Tracy is one of them, and we cannot tell you how much we appreciate her. Appreciate the website. Go to uncoverdc.com. It's a fantastic resource. Make sure you go there and check out her podcast, Dark to Light, as well. All right, Tracy Beans.
Thank you so much.
We'll do this again soon. Thanks. Appreciate you. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
It's our November clearance event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. No reasonable offer refused on any new Kia in stock. Select models with no interest financing for 75 months. All new 2021 Kia Telluride LX lease, just $319 per month. That's right, the hottest SUV in America for just $319 per month. All new 2021 Kia K5 GT line sports sedan lease, $149 per month. Yes, $149 per month. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. At Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, if you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved. Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $34.99 due at signing plus tax, tag, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval. $13.33 per month per $1,000 borrowed for 75 months at 0 APR with 0 down. Offers don't combine. Expires month end.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. I want to tell you about a major development in laser vision correction with France Eye Care. France Eye Care is where I went for my LASIK, and you should really consider them too. Listen to this. They call it Smile, and it's a lot like LASIK, but without a flap. So what's that even mean? Well, it means a smaller incision, so it's minimally invasive. Patients don't need to worry about a flap at all, which is especially important for you if you have an active lifestyle. Also, a very low incidence of dry eye syndrome, which we know nobody wants dry eye. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons are the first practice in Southwest Florida to bring you this state-of-the-art laser vision correction that is easy on the eyes. Again, I went to Dr. France to improve my eyesight for what I needed. Have him help you and your family out. He is amazing. His team is the team that you can trust. Schedule your free Smile laser vision correction screening today at France Eye Care.
France Eye Care.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Movember. What an interesting way to look at men's health through the lens of a mustache. You can start off clean-shaven and then proceed to grow your mustache as a way to celebrate men actually talking about their health. Yeah, talking. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, talking is a great start. When you talk about it, you're one step closer to solving it. The next step? Metro Men's Health. Call us today and schedule your free evaluation. And let's talk about your ED and how you, like thousands of men, can achieve consistent, longer-lasting results with the new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. So this Movember, grow your mustache for men's health, and then let Metro Men's Health help you grow your relationship. Mention Mustache and get your evaluation free, $150 value. Call Metro Men's Health and schedule your free evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or metromenshealth.com.
Water everywhere. You can't swim in it, you can't stand drinking it. Heck, it's so bad it's on the news every day. Hi, I'm Rob Hill from Bob Hill Plumbing. We've invested over 66 years here in Naples, bringing you clean, drinkable water for your home or condo. We realize we can't fix the water problems everywhere, but we can definitely clean up the water inside your home. Our government does their best to deliver safe water for use. But wow, who wants chlorinated yellow water at every faucet? Let us install a Halo home filtration system and remove all the bad taste, color, and odor from your water. Halo removes 99% of all chlorine, ammonia, and all the bad-tasting chemicals in our municipal water system. Call Bob Hill Plumbing today and let us install a Halo water system in your home so you can once again enjoy clean, bottle-quality water at every faucet. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or bobhillplumbing.com.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A jogger attacked, and now there's a search for the person who did it. It all unfolded along 6th Street North in Naples Park last night. The victim says she was jogging in the park when a strange man pulled up and grabbed her. Collier County deputies say he held her captive in a gray van. She was able to fight him off and escape unharmed. Lee Health is seeing an uptick in COVID hospitalizations with more than 100 coronavirus patients in hospital rooms for the first time in months. Lee Health reported a 24.7% positivity rate from Monday's test, and 101 COVID-19 patients are isolated in their hospitals right now. About a month ago, Lee Health was reporting 40 to 50 COVID patients a day. A legal challenge to a mask mandate faces a long road ahead. Alfie Oakes, the owner of Oakes Farms, is suing Collier County, claiming the mandate is unconstitutional and violates privacy rights. Documents filed in federal court show the jury trial for Oakes versus Collier County is scheduled for February 2022, but Oakes hopes to get that mandate thrown out sooner. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
The crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Alabama is slowing traffic southbound on Alabama, but the delays are decreasing. So it's not as hefty as before. If you are heading that way, just give yourself a few extra minutes. Now, we are slammed on the Daniels extension if you're heading towards Gateway from Lehigh. Same delays as well over that Midpoint Bridge, very packed heading into Fort Myers. And actually, the Cape Coral Bridge is also slow heading into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, tropical storm warning in effect with Ada just offshore. We will see those bands of wind and rain as we go throughout the day. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts between 25 to 45 miles per hour inland, 45 to 65 miles per hour possible along the coastline, as well as some localized flooding and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So please keep it here to Wink as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday. Even some lingering scattered showers on the southern side possible into your Thursday. But then eventually conditions will start to improve for your weekend with just a few showers on Saturday, mainly dry on Sunday, and then actually a front cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired. Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hey, Mom, I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
One Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We always appreciate a few minutes with Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. And, of course, Senior Legal Fellow there at the Ameeth Center for Legal and Judicial Studies. It's Drew Steele. How are you this morning?
Drew, I'm doing just fine.
It's been busy for you. I just have to say that it's been busy for you to try to follow along with everything that has been happening, and I'm hoping that you can guide us through a little bit of some of the confusion that we might have about where this process is going. As we hear about the lawsuits, as we hear about the campaign has another lawsuit there in Michigan, and some of what is going on in Pennsylvania. How is the, for example, maybe we'll start with Pennsylvania. The focus there on the state is what now? Is it more about the poll workers not being able to witness some of the many of the hundreds of thousands of ballots that were counted? Is it the concern about the fact that we have issues of some people, individuals in the state that were able to have remedy when it comes to mail-in ballots and then showing up to a polling place in person where there were others in the state that were not? The equal protection clause. What are we focusing on right now in the state?
It's all of the above.
Okay.
You know, I read through the complaint, the lawsuit that was filed just a day or so ago, and what they're basically claiming is, in essence, really two things. One, that any and all absentee ballots that were received after Election Day, when the original state law deadline was Election Day, but it was the state courts that extended it past 3 days past Election Day. Basically, they're saying, look, the courts didn't have the power to do that, and so any and all absentee ballots received after Election Day should not be counted, period. Mm-hmm. But then they are also making an equal protection claim, saying that the two big urban centers, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, big Democratic strongholds, they basically created for the state a two-tiered voting system that gave more opportunity to vote to folks in those cities than the rest of folks in Pennsylvania. And the reason is that normally, when an absentee ballot is received from a voter, if the voter, basically screwed up, I mean, that's the only way to put it. The voter screwed up, he forgot to sign the ballot. He didn't put all the information in the affidavit that comes with the ballot that he has to. Under Pennsylvania state law, the ballot has to be rejected, period, end of story.
Right.
But instead, in Pittsburgh and in Philly, election officials there decided instead to set up a cure process so that voters would get called and told that there was a problem with their absentee ballot, and so they could have the opportunity to come in and fix it. Now, folks may think, well, yeah, that's common sense, but that was a violation of state law. Look, if the state legislature wanted to set up a cure process, they can easily do that.
Right.
But that violated state law, and as a result, people who lived in all the rural counties, they didn't get a chance to cure their faulty absentee ballot, whereas the folks in two cities did. And they say that violates equal protection under a case everybody in Florida is very familiar with, Bush v. Gore, because the whole principle of Bush v. Gore was you can't have different standards from county to county as to what constitutes a vote. And that's exactly what they were doing in Pennsylvania, or so the campaign is arguing.
Right. So does that help then the campaign because there is precedent, clear precedent, if you're going to go to the courts? I mean, how do you argue against that kind of precedent?
Well, I think the only way you argue against it is if the Chief Justice and other justices are so afraid of the political controversy, if they rule in favor of the Trump campaign, that they find some excuse not to.
Right. Now, what about in other states as the issue now of ballot harvesting has come up? This attempt by Democrats, and it's been discussed time and time again about that they were going to do this. That this is something that Democrats in certain states were okay with. That they were fine with third party. They were fine with some of that happening. Now we come to find out that the possibility of 25,000 plus, in nursing homes, that there may have been some ballot harvesting going on there, and some of the questions. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani has said that they have evidence of illegal vote harvesting going on in nursing homes, and of course the problem there is there's been numerous cases proven of folks going into nursing homes and basically either forcing the elderly residents to vote a particular way or just taking their ballots away and voting it themselves and taking advantage of folks who are mentally incompetent. Mm-hmm. And Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact, 20 years ago had the unfortunate reputation for this being really so bad that, in fact, a former Pennsylvania member of Congress, a guy named, I think it was Austin Murphy, he was actually convicted of voter fraud because he was doing exactly that. He himself, the congressman, was going into nursing homes and basically taking senior citizens' absentee ballots and getting them voted. And he was convicted of that 20 years ago in Pennsylvania, and they're arguing that similar things like that happened in a number of states. So
we're not talking about, I mean, technically when we talk about Pennsylvania, we talk about Arizona, we're talking about these specific states and Georgia. We're not talking about a lot of ballots in and of themselves that would need to change in order for this election to change, right? I mean, in some cases, if we're talking about Pennsylvania, what are we talking about? Like 20? We're talking about the difference of maybe 25,000 plus one or something to that effect. It's not as some would say this insurmountable lead that you're going to have a hard time finding and figuring out. That's really not the issue here, because certainly there are. It's close enough to look and examine. But ultimately, what we're talking about here is something that we've had conversations on this program about, and the election integrity. That how do we do this, Hans? How do we ultimately, if we don't have willing partners on both sides? Maybe I just answered my own question. How do we do this? How do we stop this from happening in the future? Even once we get past all of this, what's the remedy?
Well, there are remedies, but unfortunately, there's this partisan divide that has opened up that didn't exist 20 years ago. You know, it was 20 years ago, 2005, that Jimmy Carter, former Democratic president, and James Baker, former Republican Secretary of State, formed a national commission on election reform and made a whole series of recommendations. If those recommendations had been followed, we probably wouldn't be in the position we are today. But there's become this partisan divide, and frankly, I think it's because it's basically, unfortunately, Republicans tend to be in favor of security measures when it comes to elections, and Democrats oppose all of them. And they just give you a quick example of that. Look, Florida, like a lot of states, has a problem with people who are not U.S. citizens registering and voting. Now, it's illegal to do that, but there aren't any checks in place to verify citizenship, and folks have actually been prosecuted, and non-citizens have been prosecuted and convicted for doing that in Florida. Well, an easy way to fix that would be to require proof of citizenship when you register to vote. Well, 4 states tried to do that, including Georgia and Kansas, and they've been stopped in the courts by liberal organizations suing them, and liberal judges saying, well, you can't require proof of citizenship. And it's all in way. It's the same thing with, as you know, voter ID.
Right.
Look, you ought to have a requirement that you have to show an ID when you vote in person. And frankly, if you're voting by absentee ballot, that you send a photocopy of your absentee ballot, or if you have a state driver's license, the serial number, to try to prevent absentee ballot fraud, which, by the way, has been a real problem in Florida. There have been numerous absentee ballot fraud prosecutions and convictions in Florida. But again, the left uniformly opposes voter ID, even though their constituency supports it. The polling shows overwhelmingly that Americans think voter ID is a common sense reform, and it doesn't matter whether they're Democrats, Republicans, Independents, or whether they're black, white, Asian, or Hispanic. A majority of them all think, yeah, well, of course. And that's because they all have to use ID like in their everyday lives.
Right. Sure. And, I think it goes to the point that we've talked about on numerous occasions together on this program, when we talked about last year and even this year in Amendment 4 and felons having the rights to vote, and how we're still waiting, Hans. I'm still looking at my watch, and I'm still waiting for the people to get out there and try to get them their Second Amendment right back as well. But of course, we're going to hold, we're holding our breath. It's because, and as we've talked about this before, and we kind of half joke, but really the seriousness of it is, it's what certain individuals are willing to do and the reasons behind it. And it becomes crystal clear by their actions or lack of actions what their intent is. And that's where I think a lot of people feel like, if not now, then when? If we don't take this to the court, if we don't continue to go as far as we can go, following the campaign through these lawsuits, to go through all of this, to say that you're going to be checked. It's not something that you're just going to allow a media that we've maybe for too long allowed to call races on their own, and to say that this is the winner of a presidential race. That the only way to ensure something in the future is to take it through this progression. But I wonder where the best fights are right now. Maybe to sum it up as we get ready to go. Where is the best, if you can put it that way, the battle here legally that looks like it's promising across some of these states? I mean, are they all promising? Ultimately, it's up to the justices and the judges, and hopefully we're not talking about political judges that are looking at this through a political lens, and it stops right there. What do you see?
Well, of all the different claims being made by the campaign, I would say probably from a legal standpoint, their best claim is in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that, again, is very simple. Look, the Constitution very specifically says that it's state legislatures, not state governments in general, but state legislatures that are given the authority to set the rules for federal elections in their states. So going back to what we talked about earlier, look, if the state legislature in Pennsylvania had wanted to extend the deadline for the receipt of absentee ballots to 3 days past Election Day, they could have done that.
Yeah, they could have made remedy.
Fully within their power.
Yeah.
But the state court, it was the state Supreme Court that did that, and they don't have the power to do that under the Constitution. So that's actually the best legal argument, I think, that the campaign has out of any of these states. And that could affect a very large number of ballots, because apparently there were a huge number of absentee ballots received after Election Day, and it could be enough to overturn the results in Pennsylvania.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. He is the best, and we always appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much. We'll speak soon. All the best.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
There he goes. Yep, just got to keep an eye on it. And, certainly the concern of many is how moving forward that we're told that the train's out of the station, that people have been talked to, that world leaders are congratulating. You can't turn this around. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we should, especially if you're talking about the legal ramifications in the future and what is honestly happening. So we keep an eye on it. All right, 239-479-5592. Time right now for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD on this Veterans Day. Give us a call right now. We'll take caller number 5. Have a little bit of fun coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with your traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
There's a crash at the Cape Coral Bridge and Cape Coral Parkway. So if you're heading into Fort Myers right now, about 2 miles of delays. And this is as well the same deal on the Midpoint Bridge. There's a crash at Colonial and Summerlin as you're getting off the Midpoint Bridge. Main story here, avoid both bridges. Heading out of the Cape, go ahead and hop into North Fort Myers. Both bridges into downtown are up to speed. There's also a crash in Lehigh Acres at Alabama and 82, still delaying traffic southbound on Alabama for about 1 mile. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Tropical storm warning in effect across southwest Florida for today with Ada just offshore. We're going to see bands of wind and rain for the majority of your Wednesday. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts will be greatest along the coastline, and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596 Back.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Harley's on site, ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley.
Under credit and Sunday.
Trust.
Breaking news as we begin
tonight. You can always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
That's kind of like a Thanksgiving diner special or something, right?
We're honoring Veterans Day the Rachel way.
Get in there!
This is how you get big muscles like this.
As veteran Robert Irvine counts down to Thanksgiving with turkey 2 ways.
And just for you, Rach.
Plus, meet a hero and his best friend, saving lives on the front lines.
I don't even know where to begin with my gratitude for all that you've done for our country.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy's in beautiful Bonita. So beautiful, they named it twice. Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Drew. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And your associate's degree question starts right now. Hey, Jeremy, who was the last Democrat that was the president of these United States?
Barack Obama.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's to see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. What year did Reagan win both the nomination and general election for president of the United States? His first go-around. He won for the first time.
1980.
That is correct, sir. You got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's on this question. Who did he beat?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. 1980. There's Ronald Reagan. He wins the presidency. Who did he beat?
I was 1 year old.
You know what? As a 1-year-old, you should know these things. Come on. At 3, I was lugging ice across a desert.
I mean, I know what you're...
It's okay. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. That's what I said. You said Jimmy Carter.
He said Jimmy Carter? Jake said yes. Yes, you did say Jimmy Carter. Okay, all I heard was your phone going. So somewhere in there was a Jimmy Carter. All right, you got
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Who was president during World War I? President during World War I. Was it like multiple choice?
No, that's all right.
All right, fancy pants.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me multiple choice.
Sorry, I called you fancy pants. That was really weird. Woodrow Wilson, Herbert Hoover, or FDR?
Wilson.
That is correct, sir. Well, look at you. Congratulations. You got yourself a PhD today, Jeremy, and I called you fancy pants, and that was rude. But anyway, I take it. Right. I mean, I apologize. So you got yourself that PhD, a job well done on this Veterans Day, where we remember our veterans. We certainly will not forget. There's a lot coming up on that. Jeremy, I need you to stay where you are. Okay, sir?
Thank you.
Well, thank you back at you. We appreciate you calling and playing Drew's College every day at 7:50. You know we do it here. All right, coming up, Matt Caldwell is going to join us. A little state and local politics. We'll talk about that and some of the headlines out there right now about the election process going on.
92.5 Fox News.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair. The quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Trust Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything. Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show. I haven't done this with anybody. This is us and that is him, Milo Ventimiglia. Plus, the craziest crafter ever, Amy Sedaris. We're gonna get messy. And Jonah Larson, crochet kitty couches. You could have it. Are you serious? All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. Everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Offices, Fort Myers and
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. DNA evidence led to the arrest of Isaiah Pettyford. He's accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old 3 years ago. Investigators were able to pin the crime on Pettyford by matching his DNA to DNA collected from the victim. According to documents, the victim told investigators 2 men forced themselves on her after drinking at a party. We could soon learn new details about a homicide case. Deputies said someone called 911 from a home in Englewood Monday, and later they found someone dead. We know they made an arrest related to that case, but that person is not charged with homicide. She's in custody on an out-of-county warrant. Investigators would not give us any more details on the victim or how that woman's connected. As COVID cases rise, many of you want to get tested. Recently, we've seen long lines at CenturyLink Sports Complex. Some people are waiting as long as 90 minutes, and on a normal day with an appointment, it's around 30 minutes. The state says this influx of people is because the site was closed down for Tropical Storm Eta on Monday. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
There's a crash at the Cape Coral Bridge and Cape Coral Parkway. So if you're heading into Fort Myers right now, about 2 miles of delays, and this is as well the same deal on the Midway Bridge. There's a crash at Colonial and Summerlin as you're getting off the Midway Bridge. Main story here, avoid both bridges. Heading out of the Cape, go ahead and hop into North Fort Myers. Both bridges into downtown are up to speed. There's also a crash in Lehigh Acres at Alabama and 82, still delaying traffic southbound on Alabama for about 1 mile. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, tropical storm warning in effect with Eta just offshore. We will see those bands of wind and rain as we go throughout the day. Please plan accordingly. Wind gusts between 25 to 45 miles per hour inland, 45 to 65 miles per hour possible along the coastline, as well as some localized flooding and even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So please keep it here to Wink as we go throughout the course of your Wednesday. Even some lingering scattered showers on the southern side possible into your Thursday. But then eventually conditions will start to improve for your weekend with just a few showers on Saturday, mainly dry on Sunday, and then actually a front cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds at the most competitive.
You're muted. Mute off. Check your mute, unmute. You can do that now.
That's 877-ASK-DELL. I don't know where I'm going to find that on my phone.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube each and every day at True Steel Radio, Steel with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. Waiting for Matt Caldwell to join us in just a second via phone. Thought he was going to be on video, but I don't know what happened. Something is going on with my video my video feed, but you know how that kind of thing goes. So a couple of stories that I wanted to get to before we get to Matt Caldwell talking about some of the local and state issues. One being that we've got a couple of issues with regard to the election and election fraud. The president's campaign is filing another election lawsuit in Michigan. That is a good thing. So we keep an eye on some of these lawsuits as they continue. You heard Hans von Spakovsky a little while ago from the Heritage Foundation, who was talking about the fact that it's looking better in Pennsylvania for the case, the president's case, than that is important. It looks very good right now. So that is something when it comes to the Supreme Court and moving forward. We keep an eye on that story. Also, some disturbing audio that I will probably play coming up in just a little while from now. Maybe get Matt's comments on this, including some of what now has become the enemies list. You realize that there are people now that are going to be on enemies lists. You've probably heard a little bit about it, but maybe not from places like The View. Yeah, The View, talking about an enemy list. I'll explain coming up. All right, here's Matt Caldwell. Hello, Matt Caldwell. Hey. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Yourself, Drew?
First of all, as far as the elections are concerned, congratulations. So things are going well there in the Caldwell household, yes?
Yeah, everybody's happy, excited to serve as the next property appraiser for Lee County, and just glad to be back with you and the listeners.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we'll have a few minutes to talk about some of what's happening locally and statewide. A couple of things that happened just in the past 24 hours. Let's talk about this. We know that Rick Scott's got a new position. Talk about what's going on with Rick Scott here.
Yeah, so each branch of Congress and at the state level has a representative body that helps get the majority elected. In this case, the U.S. Senate has the National Republican Senatorial Committee, and Rick Scott has been appointed by his peers to head that up for the 2022 cycle, putting him in charge of getting not just everyone that's currently serving reelected, but hopefully expanding that map, expanding the Republican majority in the Senate.
Yep. So interesting how, and maybe we could even get into a little bit of this, because I'll go there, because I know, and I'm sure you will as well. Boy, there is a lot of posturing happening right now, is there not? A lot of posturing going on. Can I say that? There's a lot of things in a lot of places. 2024 is not too far away, everybody. And there's probably a little bit of posturing going on. Would you say so?
Well, I don't think it's any secret. Rick Scott's rumored to be interested in running for president in 24. We hear lots of rumors about Governor DeSantis as well. I don't think it'll hurt Rick Scott's chances if he has a platform to go around the entire country and make the case for expanding Republican control, and certainly gives him some great visibility in all 50 states if he's working in that position.
Yeah. Now, how about Marco Rubio? Some news on Marco Rubio lately?
Yeah, he announced this last week officially his reelection bid for the next cycle. I think that could have been expected, but what was surprising is just how quickly we got right back to it. But I think it's a reaction to the controversy you see out there from folks that oppose this conservative majority. You saw his announcement come, I think, on Friday, and then yesterday, the Lincoln Project, that group of disaffected Republicans who have tried to defeat President Trump these last 2 years, they announced that they're going to go after directly Marco Rubio and Ron DeSantis in the 22 cycle. So it's already starting, and we're literally just a week out from the last election without it even being resolved.
You know what's interesting about the Lincoln Project and how they are never Trumpers, how they are just the question becomes, who are these people? I mean, all they do is complain. You've probably seen them on the major media outlets. You've seen some of them on there complaining, saying some of the most vile things about the president of the United States. You know, because you go to CNN and you certainly go to places like MSNBC to put all of that out because you have willing partners there who love the fact that supposedly you're Republicans and conservatives. You're supposedly conservatives and you're against this president. And I wonder, who do they like? Yeah, you ever ask that question when it comes to the Lincoln Project? They seem to hate everybody. I wonder who they like. Like, who do they look at and say, this is the bastion of conservative values and politics, and this is somebody that we support? Do we even have any idea?
Well, that's really a great point. And the fact that they've decided they're going to attack Marco Rubio and Ron DeSantis, look, you know, you can have all the opinions you want about President Trump. He is a different political animal. That's why he appealed to a new base of voters, was the fact he wasn't like the same old. But if you claim to be a conservative and you're out there opposing Marco Rubio and Ron DeSantis, I think it really reveals this was never about conservatism. It's about, you know, whatever it is for them, making money, their ego. I'm not quite sure, but all they're doing is trying to help get Democrats elected at the end of the day. And last I checked, that wasn't conservative.
Yeah, it seems to me like that is part of the project. The project is about making money for themselves, and the project is to. I wonder if the Lincoln Project's ideals are acquiescing to the left and the mainstream and going along with what they say, because maybe in deep dark circles that they don't like to talk about, they don't have a lot of friends. And they feel like, hey, if the media is our friend, then we got somebody. And if we've got them, hey, we got a lot of power and a lot of juice. You can, and you know, you think I'm tongue in cheek there, Matt. You think, Matt Caldwell, that was a joke. But if we're really going to be honest about it, if you're somebody who hates the president of the United States, who would love to see nothing more than Trump out of office, and maybe some of the people that supported him, maybe, I don't know, on some kind of enemies list, we're going to get to that in just a second, then you might be looking at the media and seeing how powerful they are at this moment. The ones who are calling elections, the ones who are telling you to sit down and shut up, that Joe Biden is the president-elect and you need to accept it, that the train's out of the station, world leaders are thanking him already and congratulating him and saying whatever they're saying behind closed doors, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that the power that they exude or are trying to show up, that maybe that's part of their aim, is like, if you can't beat them, join them, and maybe they'll be our friends and they'll give us a little bit of something on the side.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The old rag on politics is it's Hollywood for ugly people, and you know, you've got people here who are just desperate to be popular, and they want to be popular with the media. It was the regular rag on folks like John McCain, who constantly were breaking with conservatives in the party, and we saw it because he wanted to be popular with the media intelligentsia there in D.C., and I think that's a large part of what drives this Lincoln Project, their ideals and what they're trying to achieve.
They had another person who, listen, if you want to understand why the Trump family has not exactly been enamored with John McCain in the past, I don't know, going out and getting the dossier and delivering it to to the FBI. There are people who are close to John McCain. Yeah, you might question why you would do something like that, but I'll put that aside for just a second. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. All right, let's talk about this, because this is an important aspect of, before we get into some of the other things that are happening here in the state, this election cycle that maybe is not getting any play because, well, we're being swallowed up by the issue of the presidential election. Here's Sunny Hostin. You've probably heard of her. You ever heard of Sunny Hostin? She's on The View. You ever watch The View? You a big View viewer?
I don't really tune in on a regular basis.
Gosh. Okay. Well, let me help you out here. Here's a little bit of what she was talking about just the other day. As a matter of fact, AOC bringing up this idea that we should maybe have some kind of enemies list, or maybe we should check some of the people that have been in the administration, or just take a listen to this here.
People like Kirstjen Nielsen, people like Stephen Miller, people like Kellyanne Conway, people like Vice President Pence, who was woefully inadequate at his role of being the head of the coronavirus task force, and people like Ben Carson and Betsy DeVos. I don't think that those people should be able to profit from their experience within the Trump administration, and I don't think that they should be forgotten, and I don't think that we should look the other way. I think we need to remember, because if you don't remember things, then past becomes prologue. And I do think that people need to be held accountable for their actions. And I don't think it is reminiscent of McCarthyism at all.
Oh, yeah, I do. So there you go, everybody. The View taking part in what is now the enemies list, of reminding ourselves who these people are and that they have to be held accountable for their actions. This enemies list, maybe you want to comment on that, because if you think that it's only something that would happen in the sphere of politics, like it's only the big names that would have a problem. Dare I say the trickle down effect of this could be frightening.
Well, first of all, let's hold them accountable. I'd be glad to hold Ben Carson accountable for rooting out corruption at HUD, or Betsy DeVos for repealing Obama-era executive orders without the force of law. But you can't have a functioning democracy if you're going to treat your political opponents as enemies. That's what happens in banana republics. It sounds like some kind of Central American, it's like we're in Venezuela, and the other side's going to make their list of who gets potentially executed at the end of the day. That's where the slippery slope goes. So I certainly think that kind of language is ultimately dangerous. Yeah, there's no doubt. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about. I got to go through, and so I'm going to continue to move here. By the way, CNN had a list of GOP senators who didn't congratulate Joe Biden. You think that list was put out there because they just want to recognize Republicans, or do you think that's out there? You can, obviously it's rhetorical. You know the answer. Let me bring this up, because this is something that's important. I brought this up earlier. To me, this is one of the biggest stories that is not being talked about, and I need you to respond to this. And it's this story. I read law.com. You can go there and visit it right now. State Bar of New York has passed mandatory COVID-19 vaccine recommendations. New York State Bar Association passing a resolution urging the state to consider making it mandatory for all New Yorkers to undergo COVID-19 vaccination when a vaccine becomes available, even if people object to it for, quote, religious, philosophical, or personal reasons. Now, I bring this up because this is chilling, everybody. When you have the State Bar Association who is passing a resolution urging that the state consider this, what they're saying is if the state does it, they'll back them up legally to make the case, to form precedent, to make it so that you will get vaccinated. You will have to get it, and you have no recourse, and we'll help the state to back it up legally and be litigious about this. And oh, by the way, how far does that extend? I don't know if you heard about this story, but what are your thoughts as you do hear that? Well, first, it just highlights the danger of a legislature ceding its authority to a private body, and that's the case with the bar associations across the country. They aren't accountable to the people, and ultimately the people are a check on what happens to them. If New York State wants to do something crazy, like mandate vaccines and violate people's liberty, they're going to have to face the U.S. Constitution and our rights and privileges and our protections. But ultimately, it depends on the people to vote for legislators at their state level and at their federal level. They're going to protect those rights. If you vote for Democrats to run your state like they have in New York, don't be surprised when they push these big government mandates that violate your rights. That's what they say they want to do. I don't know why anyone would be surprised when they try to do it.
Yeah, but I'm worried at the end of the day now that these are the things that are coming, and I'm so concerned about what we might see. Look, at the idea that the state of New York is doing this, you might make the case that there's a lot of things that Biden and a future quote-unquote Biden administration, the possibility of which, would do some of the most crazy, outrageous things a la California and New York. And I don't know how many people would recognize it when it hits, and then how when it is something that goes to the courts, whether or not we'll be able to fight it if you're going up against a political judge who is looking and saying, hey, listen, that's something that's we agree with, or who knows what politically minded judges would say. I hope you are right that ultimately the Constitution will rule the day, but we're talking about people that don't exactly love the Constitution anyway. But
and it highlights we need to be ready, and people need to contact here in Florida our Attorney General Moody to get ready. We had a great track record when Obama was president as a state of winning cases protecting constitutional freedoms, and if Biden ultimately does become president here, we need to be ready and on the ball to fight again to win those cases.
Yeah. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Hey, before we go, I was going to ask you this quickly. I forgot about mentioning what's going on here with the House and Senate in the state. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the elections last week, now we have organization coming up on Tuesday. Locally, State Senator Kathleen Pasadomo down in Collier County, she has been appointed to be the Rules Chair in the Senate, a very powerful position, really second only to the Senate President. On the House side, you've got Mike Grant, the State House Rep in Charlotte County. He has been appointed as the Majority Leader in the House, again, one of the top-tier positions, and really continuing this trend we've had for the last 2 decades of Southwest Florida, not just delivering for the national elections, high majorities for the president this last cycle, but really dominating the leadership in Tallahassee and keeping conservatism at the forefront. So I'm really excited about the opportunities that presents for us.
Yeah. All right, Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I'm looking at the clock. I've got to run. There's a lot to talk about, including our veterans and remembering our veterans and thinking about them today on Veterans Day. And we've got that coming up in just a few minutes. All right, my friend, I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure.
All right, there he goes. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steele, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
When everything around us has been interrupted, including playtime, work time, and downtime, friends and family are always there to help pick up the pieces. At Castilla Roofing, we are here for our community, our employees, and you. Keeping a roof over your head is our job, our headache, and our promise to you. Castilla Roofing, family owned and operated. Your satisfaction is our reputation.
Go to CastillaRoofing.us. That's CASTILLA. Or call 239-465-2646. License CCC 1328615.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Every RV is posted with our everyday low price. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. A new Fleetwood Discovery LXE diesel pusher, number MR2495, is discounted over $101,000. If you're thinking it's time to check out RVs, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers, or LaMesaRV.com. All advertised prices plus tax tag title and $9.95 dealer fee. Offer expires day of ad.
You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. Hi. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, they've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders.
All right, let's try this again. Yeah, we switched around. I was trying to bring somebody in on the interview screen, and for some reason, the stream got stopped. Everything got cut off. So you guys could hear. Let me look at the comments. Hold on. Let me get to comments. Oh, all right. My comments are gone. If you all are here, if you can hear me on the stream, on the YouTube stream, maybe just let me know you're here. Oh, okay. All right, so Rabbit Life can hear and see me. All right, so did you guys hear when Jake was on the screen? All right, George, did you guys, when Jake was on the screen, did you all hear and see Jake? There on the screen, you could hear. Okay, so, all right, so Gary hears me, Jim hears me, Terry hears me. All right, so George, you're saying that when Jake was on before, you could hear Jake talking. Was there was there a slapback going on? I'm trying to figure all of this out. Okay, yeah, you all heard him. All right, for some reason, you guys heard him. I couldn't hear him, and I don't know why, because I'm supposed to hear him from here. Well, that is very strange. All right, but you could see a split. Yeah. He said hi. Gosh, you heard him. All right, so then it was working. All right. Well, thank you for your help. I don't know why. It was weird. Okay. It's that kind of day. Stay right there. Yeah. George is blaming Trump. How dare you? Huh. All right, trying to get it back.
Artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Some of us work months producing a CD, but in less time than it takes to play it,
Hundreds of happy customers all across Southwest Florida have already gotten the full original base MSRP for their trade-in. It's not too late for you to do the same, but only if you come see us here at Naples Nissan. Yes, you can still bring us that 5, 6, 7-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you the same price that you paid for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yeah, so whatever it was worth back in 2014, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought it from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite
This Wink News Update
Nissan
is presented by Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A jogger attacked, and now there's a search for the person who did it. It all unfolded along 6th Street North in Naples Park last night. The victim says she was jogging in the park when a strange man pulled up and grabbed her. Collier County deputies say he held her captive in a gray van. She was able to fight him off and escape unharmed. Lee Health is seeing an uptick in COVID hospitalizations with more than 100 coronavirus patients in hospital rooms for the first time in months. Lee Health reported a 24.7% positivity rate from Monday's test, and 101 COVID-19 patients are isolated in their hospitals right now. About a month ago, Lee Health was reporting 40 to 50 COVID patients a day. A legal challenge to a mask mandate faces a long road ahead. Alfie Oakes, the owner of Oakes Farms, is suing Collier County, claiming the mandate is unconstitutional and violates privacy rights. Documents filed in federal court show the jury trial for Oakes versus Collier County is scheduled for February 2022, but Oakes hopes to get that mandate thrown out sooner. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
There's a crash at the Cape Coral Bridge and Cape Coral Parkway. So if you're heading into Fort Myers right now, about 2 miles of delays. And this is as well the same deal on the Midpoint Bridge. There's a crash at Colonial and Summerlin as you're getting off the Midpoint Bridge. Main story here, avoid both bridges. Heading out of the Cape, go ahead and...
Cooling us down, bringing in some drier air for next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel like you're the forgotten person in this great country, working hard all your life and contributing to this country's greatness, but taken for granted by our politicians' quest for voters? Using their slogan, more taxes will set you free. At Stevie's, you are not forgotten. We love our customers and never want them to feel forgotten. We deliver the value you deserve with our food, service, and pricing. Making our customers feel special is our happiness. As the owner of Stevie Tomatoes, we cater to the forgotten person. Those of you who go about every day doing what it takes for them and their family while contributing to this country's greatness, its culture and values. I personally invite you to allow us to be a small part of what makes you feel special, and we promise to obtain your complete satisfaction. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube right now and each and every day at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And forgive me, I'm just trying to get my camera situated, trying to get this all happening here because typically we do the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 at this moment in time. But today we are going to make an exception. Why are we going to make an exception? Because it is an exceptional day. It is Veterans Day. And we are not going to forget about talking about our veterans. We're not going to forget about those, as a matter of fact, who are serving right now because we're doing 10,000 for the troops. P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. You very well know about that. You may even recognize, if you're looking at our YouTube feed right now, Rick Wabi is on camera with us and he's in studio because you probably recognize that it was a year ago almost to this moment in time where we were preparing for what was the trip of a lifetime.
It was pretty interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and we made our way in... It felt like it was 24 hours, and it almost literally was, from here to Ramstein in Germany, and had the chance to deliver those Christmas cards from you to our men and women serving there. And I know for you and me both, it was a day, a time that we will never, ever forget.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to tell you that I just cannot forget the faces and the appreciation. First off, the stunned look, like what?
Like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Yep.
These are from America. These are from South Florida. Your fans, the people that love you, and they want to thank you for being here. You're the big shtick.
Yeah, and so they were so appreciative, and of course. Cannot be matched by the kind of appreciation that we have for them because it is overwhelming how much we appreciate what they are doing right now. And certainly our veterans. By the way, as I'm looking at the phone lines right now, typically we take calls from you to end the program, just taking calls or whatever you want to talk about. But if you are someone who has served, if you are a veteran, we would love for you to call 239-479-5592 and just say thank you and recognize you. Maybe you are the family of someone who has served this country and you would like to call. We'd love to hear from you right now as well, 239-479-5592. And on this Veterans Day, listen, all the people that we know, people that we have met on Collier Leona flight has been incredible. Tell us, like, some of the people that you know, that you've been in contact with, and certainly those that you've met.
I have a kind of a special story here today.
Yeah.
This gentleman never made it on to your show. He did go on Mission 20, I believe it was. I'm going to just use his first name. Is that appropriate?
It's up to you. Well, maybe just you can. Yeah.
His first name. Now, this person is known across the world. Believe me, he owned what they called the aggressor fleet, which was dive boats stationed everywhere in the world. People would fly to and go scuba diving. But he was in the Marine Corps. He was a Huey helicopter pilot, and a lot of people might remember from history, or old people like me seeing it in the news, the fall of Saigon and the helicopters flying off the top of the embassy there. And Wayne, was one of those pilots. And his story is unusual. For a Marine, you would think, the Marines go in and they, they take out a target. And generally people don't survive that. But this gentleman was saving lives. And he flew on that day, or on that week, it was called Operation Frequent Wind. He flew 60 missions in a Huey, and as it got shot up, they'd push it over and they'd get another Huey. And he brought out well over 1,000 people. He could fit 16 people on a Huey with one bag at a time. And you would see on the History Station now, them barely touching down on the top of the embassy, filling up with people that were in trouble, South Vietnamese, and then flying them 15, 20 minutes out to his ship, which was the USS Okinawa. And this person was, truly a hero for the lives he saved. And basically, he went on a mission with us. He was terminal with Agent Orange, so we tried to get him in here, but he wasn't able to. But while he was up there, we pinned him with the 50th anniversary Vietnam lapel pin,
right,
signifying, from our government, thank you, and from the people of America. Well, we arranged to have a 2-star general meet us at the wall. And not only did Arnie Fields, who was came to our 50th anniversary pinning at the stadium, he brought with him another general whose name a lot of people should recognize. It's Richard Neal, who was the commandant of the Marine Corps, the assistant commandant of the Marine Corps, a 4-star general.
Whoa.
All right?
Whoa.
And, you run into these folks and you're just going, my mouth is on the ground like, holy Moses. These guys are really something. Anyway, it was a beautiful thing to have him pinned at the wall. And then shortly after we got back, he passed away from his service in Vietnam.
Yeah. And so many people that, you are around you every day. And quite honestly, veterans who, are, for lack of a better way of putting it, Rick, quiet about their service. They served honorably, and they come home, and it's back to the world, back to life.
That's what they call it, back to the world, when they came back from, especially the Vietnam ones. I have another really funny, good one.
Stay with us. Jake the Millennial. Jake, so are these phone calls 239-479-5592? Would love to hear from you this morning, certainly veterans or family members of veterans. Joe's in Fort Myers. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. And I am a father of a Army veteran, and I want to tell you his story very quickly.
Sure.
He had always wanted to go into the Army since he was a little boy. One of his Halloween costumes was of a soldier. When he was 17 years old, he entered the Army and ultimately served in Iraq. And the story I want to tell you is, by the grace of God, he is alive. Him and his squad were traveling in a Humvee. And the story he's told me is that nobody wanted to go up into the nest. And if listeners don't know what the nest is, that is the hole in the top of the Humvee that houses the 60 cal machine gun. Ultimately, he decided he would step up and get in the crow's nest, which ultimately was a decision that saved his life. As they were driving down the road, the Humvee hit an IED, ejected him out of the top of the Humvee, blew out both his knees. Unfortunately, his entire squad perished. So I want to thank him for his service and all the military I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. I want to thank all the military for their service. This would not be the country that we have if it were not for them.
Yeah. Well, Joe, we appreciate the call. Thank you so much, and God bless you and your family, and certainly the service to this country. And
yeah, it's just amazing with these guys. You know, they go in when they're young kids, and aside from a normal life, they're living a life of sadness, elation, adrenaline, horror, hatred. You know, it's the needle is pegged in every direction on every emotion that a person going in the military will face as a young man or young woman.
Yeah,
it's amazing, and they do it with shining colors. What drives them to go? You know, some of them it was the draft.
Well, and you know, we talked about this last year at this time for the 50th anniversary pinning, and how, you know, this moment, if you want to just take today and go to that moment in time and just talk about how important the healing of so many that we love and appreciate and recognize our veterans, those that have served, and that we will never forget and we will always honor. And this doesn't stop. It's today is a Veterans Day, and we talk about it today, but it continues each and every day for us, certainly here, and the healing and how important that was.
Oh, it's amazing, especially an organization like Honor Flight that flies these veterans to D.C., to a place that's sacred to every one of them for one reason or another. When they, you know, when you see a World War II guy looking at all those stars in the pool, and you think, you know, he's or she's thinking of a person I always call a forever young, you know, somebody that didn't make it back, that they will not ever see as an old man or an old woman like themselves. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Got a really good World War II story here.
All right, go
you got
for
a minute for it?
I do.
Okay, this is, I'm going to use fake names. A female World War II veteran who was a WASP, which was a women's Air Force service pilot. Now, they trained these folks to fly B-17s, everything, whatever, Boeing, whoever was making airplanes, these people were doing the test flying and moving them in and out of theater and to the training bases.
Wow.
Now, I ran into this lady, and I want to tell you, she was spit and vinegar all the way. Officer material, and she was riding her little scooter at the VA, you know, and she came in, and we were jaw-jacking around the information table, and they all said, hey, go ask Hattie what she did in the service, you know, which I did. I fell for it.
Yeah.
How are you today? What did you do in the service? She looked at me and she said, young man, I'm a B-17 pilot. What did you do?
Oh, no.
We were all cracking up. Anyway, trying to get an interview with her for 3 years has been impossible. This past weekend, I found out she has an older sister.
Wow.
Did the same thing.
Wow.
And she loves to go out and play.
Yeah.
So she's 98. I am getting scheduled to talk to her.
Wow.
And get her story and say, okay, you know, I can't get your sisters, but I want you, you know?
Wow.
Let's get this out.
That is awesome. All right, let's see. Is this Doug? Doug is calling right now. Good morning, Doug. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you for the shout out on Veterans Day. Also like to mention that yesterday was the 245th birthday of the Marine Corps.
Ooh-ah.
And I've never met a Marine that I would not be proud to call a brother or a sister.
Yeah, Doug, you got to turn your radio down right there. Go ahead and turn your radio down, because otherwise you're going to hear yourself. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm already confused enough as it is. You know, people say thanks for your service. It's just, and I've learned to say, you know, you're welcome, and I appreciate the thought. But honestly, it was an honor and a privilege to serve. I mean, it's like I've met the best and most honorable people that I have ever known in my life in the military.
Yeah.
I was too late by about 5 years to serve for Vietnam, but the friends of mine that came back took a long time to come back once they got home.
Yeah.
And it's, and right now we're still going through over 22 suicides a day of our vets, and it really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, Doug.
The good news is the VA is a hell of a lot better now than it was back then.
Yeah. Yeah, and still working on it for sure. All right, Doug. Listen, we appreciate you and your service certainly, and lots of people that we hear from in stories.
Oh yeah, I got another one for you here.
All right, go.
This is a real current one. I love this guy. I met him recently. You rarely, when you think of veterans, you always think of the dog-faced guy in the mud and the guts and the whole, or the airman and the scarf and the plane, and you think about those guys. But a lot of what they do, they have a leader, and somebody that's responsible for everything. I mean, you think about that. A command, given can take many, many lives. Yeah. A Lieutenant General Bill Welsler is the head guy in Florida here for honor flight. He coordinates amongst the honor flights, keeps peace in the troops and everything, everything flowing, that kind of stuff. Right. But when you look at, what did you do in the war? You look at these pages of incredible accomplishments. Yeah. And I'm just going to read real quick what he was. He's retired now, 3-star general. And these guys are, if the president's meeting, they're in the room. It's not like, they're in the... Sure. He was the commander of the 18th Air Force. During the time, the Defense Department Chief Mobility Architect of Air and Ground War for Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. He directed all transportation requirements for the U.S. and coalitions, amongst other things. He was also a pilot. I'm looking at this list. A C-5A Galaxy, the biggest plane in the world. Yeah. You put the whole, you put the whole war inside of that thing and take it someplace. Right. Wow. C-5, C-141 Starlighter, KC-10 Extender, T-1 Jayhawk, and 20 other aircraft. Right? What a list. Wow. General Welsler is now headed for, and I love this. This is really cool. He's going to be the Honor Flight Network, the whole country. He's going to be the chairman and president of the board. Wow. Which is, it's an amazing thing. And what a total gentleman. You ought to get him in here one time to talk.
Hey, maybe that's next. Maybe that's where we go. Well, listen, I'm looking at the time. Rick Wabi, Collierly Honor Flight, has been my friend for many years now, and we had such an amazing trip last year. I want to remind everybody, 10,000 for the troops is still happening. We do not want to forget the men and women serving right now. That Christmas card with the greeting inside, 10,000 for the troops, P.O. Box 877, Fort Myers, 33902. You can text the word troops right now and get the address. And also a big thank you to Kim Gade and everybody at Lee Health who are continuing to do the work of getting all the cards and vetting, and they are amazing, amazing, amazing people, and we appreciate them so much. And before we go, you know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and certainly all of our veterans, and how much we appreciate.
Well, on to those cards once again. Those people appreciate them out in the field, the field. They get them. And they love them.
Yes, we remember you, veterans, on Veterans Day. Thank you for joining us, Rick. Good to see you here. Daybreak, 92.5, Fox News. Right all along. We love you, veterans. All right. Let's find out what's happening with the remainder of the forecast right now with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
Tropical storm warning in effect across southwest Florida for today with Ada just offshore. We're going to see bands of wind and rain for the majority of your Wednesday. Please plan accordingly. Wind